Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel with myself, Isabella. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new here, click that subscribe button so you never miss another video. My name's Isabella, I'm a graduate of the Ballet Academy. I then went on to dance with the Mikhailovsky Ballet and Eiffen Ballet before I returned to London and founded BWI, which is an online learning platform. Whether you're an absolute beginner or a professional, whether you're an adult hobbyist or a pre-pro student, BWI has everything you need to succeed. We have classes, courses, plans, whether that's ballet classes, stretch classes, conditioning classes, as well as in-depth courses. Courses are my favorite thing because we dive deep into the fundamentals and the technical skill that's required to execute some difficult ballet things, such as pirouettes, or whether you want to really understand your turnout. We have turnout plans, pirouette plans, point courses, variation courses, absolute beginner courses, everything, and we're growing all the time. Along with this, we have live classes weekly online. I love these because this is where we really get to interact with people and build that BWI community. We have people joining from all over the world and it's so nice to see them every week. They train with me along with many other teachers who are experts in their field. We do Pilates, yoga, floor bar, stretching, ballet classes and more. 15 to 20 classes a week so far, and everything is growing all the time. So if you're intrigued, click the link down below and start your 2-week trial so you can see if BWI is for you. Now let's get started. In today's video, I'm going to get comfortable. We're going to be looking at fouettés and the different types of fouettés. Now, whether it's Paris opera, it's Russian, it's English, it's Italian, everyone does slightly different things. And there are many variations to fouettés, no pun intended. When I was at the Royal Ballet School, we had to do fouettés front and side. Now, there's two different types of fouettés when you do the front and side. There's plié, and you stay in the bend. We'll look at all the fouettés in a moment, but there's the one where you stay in plié, so you go to the front, you're still in plié, and then you releve as you turn. Or there's the fouetté where you stay up in second, and you've already arrived on point in second. Front, side, in, front, side, in. And that one is a little more challenging, but also it looks quite effective. With that one, you can't go as fast as, say, the Russians do when we go side, side, side. Now, I'll be honest, I'll tell you a little bit about my story with fouettés. When I was at the Royal Ballet School, we had to do front, side, in, as in, we actually had to do the one going up to the side and then in, so going to releve straight away to the second, which actually felt quite nice once we got used to it. Now, the thing is, with the leg, when it goes front, side, you have two different types of force to help you. You have the leg, and then you also have the back. But actually, because you're using the leg, your focus tends to go, especially when you're learning, towards the leg and thinking that that is the thing that should be giving me force. Along with this, you're susceptible to allowing the leg to turn in. So when you go front, side, and you're using that whip, a lot of people do this kind of motion, therefore not totally optimizing their turnout and not really using the glutes. Now, when I went to Russia, and initially I'd only just started really grasping fouettés. I was like 15, and back then we didn't have turning tops at like 10 years old. And so when I went to Russia, I actually said to the teacher, I was a little bit ballsy, brave. I said, do I have to change? Do I have to change to doing second? Because I've just grasped, you know, doing front, side, in, and back then as well, I kind of wanted to just do a couple of years there and then go back to England. I know, crazy, but don't worry, I changed my mind. But then the teacher was like, oh no, you do this way. You do straight to the side, in, of course. And I was like, okay, sure. Because my logic in my mind back then was, oh God, I've got to relearn everything and start again. But actually, once I grasped it, yes, it was harder because the leg is straight to the side. What force do you use? It literally forces you, again, no pun. What is it today with the puns? It forces you to use the glutes a lot more, really understand your turnout, and it forces you to use the back. So you're there and you're going to really open the back and use the shoulders and whip the head. And so when we watch, I'll slow it down as well, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. you can see that the back is really being used because there's no swing of the leg happening. So that's why people get very skilled, for example, doing the hands on the hips and doing fouetté, because it's all coming from the back. Some teachers, and I do this as well, actually train the pirouettes without the arms initially, with hands on hips, because that really forces the student to understand the use of the knee, so utilizing the turnout, and also the use of the back and the use of the shoulder blade. So the shoulder blade coming into the spine is actually really useful for finding the correct force. So let's dive into looking at some of these fouetté versions. I found a really good video to start us off, and this video shows both the Italian way, which is the Cecchetti way, which is what we did at the Royal Ballet School, and also the Russian way, and it slows it in a broken down form. So we'll watch this video and then we'll look at the pros doing it. All right, here we go. So I assume she's doing front side. Nice. Notice how she overcrosses the retire. That's also quite a common thing they used to do more in the 60s.
The working leg is extended front and demi-plie. As a releve is executed, the extended leg is whipped second and to retire devant while turning en dehors.
Notice how she actually did the last one a little bit more to the side. But she did do more of the staying down a bit longer, front side, then coming in. Now she's going straight to the side, almost écarté back if you notice. She kind of goes almost to the back corner, so it's very much deliberately second. And so it's clear she's not going to do the rond. The first one though, she found it hard to make it happen. What's nice about it, as you can see, is that the leg and the arm are doing identical things.
Although not seen here, fouetté en tournant may be reversed, turning en dedans.
Did you hear that? Fouetté en dedans can be reversed and done en dedans. That would be mean. That would be super mean. If you notice, when she does fouetté straight to the side, you can see how the leg and the arm match completely. And that's a really nice thing about doing fouetté straight to the side, is that it's very coordinated and it's kind of very direct to a point. There's no kind of mismatch as to where the leg will go each time. It's very clear where you're aiming for. Whereas when you do front, it can easily open too early. A lot of people tend to look a little bit turned in their retire. You may finish the retire too early, and so you'll try to open here. Even if you're doing the front side version, you need to think about finishing your retire to the front turned out and then go into it, holding that left shoulder back a little bit so that, again, you're counterbalancing what's happening with the leg. You're counterbalancing and then bring it in, counterbalance and then bring the elbow back and the arm tightly in. So what I notice is with a lot of students when they start doing fouetté, and be aware of this, so definitely film yourself if you're struggling with this. You do the turn, then as you open, you may be opening too early, so you haven't quite finished the retire, or I should say in French, retiré, the retire to the front. And so what happens is you end up trying to open too early. You come around, your retire hasn't finished, then you open there. So then you've got this parallel position. Then you're doing this huge circle, a bigger circle than you need, all the way around. And then you whip in and then the cycle continues, and then you'll find it hard to do, especially double pirouettes, for example, or double fouetté. Along with your teacher will probably be screaming, turn out more, like this. And so what I would always think, and this can be taken with you into many areas of your ballet, wherever you want to finish, whatever the problem is, if your leg opens too early, then you need to think about finishing it and opening it later than you think. So if you're thinking about opening directly in front, but you're ending up opening there, that's too early. You need to think about opening your leg to effacé. Then you're more likely to open directly to the front and be in the position you need to be. Then you'll come around, you'll be thinking about there, so you'll come through in a more turned out position and aim directly front. So it can really be helpful for you. Think about opening things a little bit fraction later or before, depending on the issue. Let's move on. Russian fouettés, Angelina Vorontsova. So she's doing Don Q. And then she puts the hands on the hips, I believe, because she's confident, super fast. Now this is all in the back. and therefore her shoulder blades are going to be really working to whip her body around, because other than that, she's not doing a massive circle of the leg, so she's going to be using her turn out of the knee. Even doing the double at the end with the hands on hips was impressive. Most people do open, double, and then finish for some extra force with the arms. So that is literally, this is why as well, the hands on the hips is really important in terms of the positioning. You don't want the arms too far backwards and droopy. That's not going to help you. You need to have the arms forwards and use that sensation, as well as to give me force, especially if I'm not using the arms. I'm going to think about my shoulder blade literally going into the spine. Shoulder blade into the spine, and that will again massively help you. As well as when that leg goes directly out to the side, then all I think about is opening it a little beyond second. So it's going to be a little bit easier. It gives me less to do. Now, where things get complicated is holding that supporting knee, because if you open that leg, this is why opening the leg to second is much harder, because when you open to the front, you have more establishment of the supporting leg before you then open the leg. Whereas when you open directly side, this was a problem that I came across as I was practicing. Your leg can easily turn in because you're thinking about that one, but you haven't held that one, which is why, again, you get so strong at doing the fouettés to the side, because you've got to hold the flatness of that leg and hold the turn out on two sides. Then from there, we push that knee out and think about the coordination of elbow coming in, utilizing shoulder, and knee bending, utilizing glute. So the shoulder and hip are constantly working together. Then when you come around, you hold that shoulder back so that you don't drift with the leg that's opening. Super difficult, but once you nail it, and definitely I've got a whole fouetté course on my website talking about this, drills and how to complete 32 fouettés with a lot of detail and analysis if you're interested. Once you get competent and comfortable with the sensation of fouetté and exactly what you need to think about, it takes time, then you're away. Make sure you do your 32 calf rises every day though, because without those, we won't get through 32. So now let's move on and let's look at Sylvie Guillem doing them. So she really does the whip of the front to the side. Again, not massively coming up to the side releve. We'll watch Darcy Bustle doing that in a second. But notice how she's really finishing the retire to the front, like it's definitely not turned in. And she's almost lifting the leg slightly as she opens it. Let's watch it one more time. She's also kind of lifting it slightly as she opens it so that it doesn't drop, because that's another issue. You drop the leg as it opens, and with her long legs, that would be difficult. So her hamstring's really activated. You can see how much she's working the toe to keep the retire beautifully high. Her arms are really framed, really coordinated, like she's swimming. Really beautiful, really, really nice. Good, good Sylvie. Okay, so now let's watch Darcy Bustle. I found some fouettés of her in the Tchaikovsky pas de deux, which is really great because she does the front side in, very obviously. All right, let's have a look. I love this pas de deux, by the way. I do miss seeing Darcy. She was a real inspiration to me when I was younger. Obviously she's doing just one, but it's just a really nice presentation of the front side in. Yeah, let's look at it one more time. Front side in, tayampam. It's really nice doing those kinds of pirouettes, those kinds of fouettés when it's a slower tempo. I think because it kind of has a sensation of floatiness, you know, they really float, pump, and float, pump, whereas the others are very sharp, speedy, whippy. So let me know which one you prefer. And then we've got one more. We're going to watch Tyler Peck doing her fouettés, which she definitely does the front side in, but she has a real energy about her, and obviously with the New York City Ballet fouettés, the arms are in a different place, so it's a little bit different in general. And she's doing doubles. So notice there's real coordination. As soon as she collects herself, she's really quickly going into the double. It's really tight That's the thing, you have to be super tight when you do fouetté, especially when you do doubles. Really collected. Nice. Looking at her, it looks a little bit more like the use of the leg. Let's watch it one more time. As you bring the leg in as well, you've got to really lift the knee so that it doesn't drop. In general, guys, it's a very different sensation doing front side in and then doing side. How you learn to do fouetté becomes how you do it basically for your whole career. Whatever technique you're in, no way is wrong. They're just very different techniques. Going straight to the side is definitely super difficult, and going to the front has its own challenges. But once you've really nailed it, then you can play with it. Then you can add some doubles. Then you can go a bit faster. I always found the stronger my back and my core was, the better I got at fouettés, the faster I could go, the more controlled I was. I highly suggest filming yourself doing fouetté. Filming yourself regularly doing fouetté and practicing, because we don't always feel the sensations. And once we can identify what's wrong, like, oh, am I dropping my knee? Am I turning in the supporting leg? Am I slow with my arms collecting in? Then we instantly know the problem and we apply and we get better. So don't be shy about filming yourself. It's actually really, really the most critical thing you can do for your self-practice. And then whatever your technique is, like for example, if you're doing front side in, but actually you want to do second, then ask your teacher, obviously, and see if you can change. Especially if you're in a school at the moment that does front side, but you're looking to go to a Russian school that does second, that would make sense for you to change. But obviously, if you're in a Cecchetti school, then we've got to do the front side for sure. But either way, study people doing fouettés. Today, we've mostly just spoken about the different types of fouettés, but if you want me to go into detail about looking directly at the fouettés and how to improve them, and let's analyze some ballerinas doing fouetté, and I can tell you exactly what they're doing, leave a comment down below and I would definitely make that video. In the meantime, check out the fouetté course for some detailed drills and advice from me, so you can make those fouettés better than ever. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know which fouetté you're doing and how it's going. Tell me what you're struggling with, and I'll help you in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it so others can find it, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.